Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tips. Julian here for another Weekend Ads episode. This is players that I'm going to be suggesting to help you close out your week with a win. I'm going to be discussing players that play 2 games this weekend, which encompasses Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to make the best ads in order to ensure victory this week. Now, I am recording this video a little bit ahead of time, more than usual, because I am going away just for a few days, so I had to record this a little bit more ahead of time than usual. So if somebody in this video is injured or something, just ignore them. You don't have to comment below, oh yeah, this person's injured. It's because I recorded it in advance. But still, the players in the order that I list them in should still be very, very accurate. Let's jump into the content now, guys, and let's start with the schedule for this week. On Friday, there are 15 games, so every single team in the NHL but 2 is playing on Friday. Those teams are Arizona and Vegas. Those are the only 2 teams in the NHL not playing on Friday. So I'm pretty sure your lineup's going to be full on Friday no matter what. And then on Saturday, there are only 8 teams playing, so you probably have room in your lineup. You might not, so go ahead and check. But if you do, adding someone for Saturday is not a terrible idea. And then Sunday, you definitely have room in your lineup because there are only 5 games that night. So because just about every team in the NHL plays on Friday, there are no teams that play Saturday and Sunday, unfortunately. Because if there was, we would definitely be focusing on that specific team, just because those 2 nights are the off nights this weekend. So to say, unfortunately, we can't do that. So we're gonna have to look at specifically guys who play on Saturday and then guys who play on Sunday. So first, let's take a look at guys that play on Saturday. The guys that play both Friday and Saturday are Boston, Buffalo, Calgary, Colorado, Los Angeles, Montreal, New Jersey, New York Islanders, New York Rangers, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, San Jose, Toronto, and Vancouver. And then Arizona and Vegas both play Saturday, even though they don't play Friday. But you're probably not going to be streaming a guy for both Friday and Saturday anyway, because your Friday lineup is like almost for sure full. So this list is going to be guys that play on Saturday. I included Vegas and Arizona players in this list. Put them in italics just in case you somehow wanted to stream somebody for Friday. So the number 1 guy I would stream for Saturday is Brian Rust. 56% roster, and he's been phenomenal. He's been a top 100 player easily in the league this year, and he definitely deserves to be the number 1 guy you go out and grab for this weekend. Then Vincent Trocheck is the next best guy. He's been doing great on that second line with Panarin and Lafreniere. Nick Suzuki's been playing absolutely great for the Montreal Canadiens, been putting up a lot of points, top power play. Can't go wrong adding Nick Suzuki, that's for sure. Then Valeri Nichushkin of the Colorado Avalanche playing top line with Nathan MacKinnon, as well as finally top power play with Nathan MacKinnon. They're really giving this guy an opportunity right now, and I'm absolutely loving it. Then Cam Atkinson of the Philadelphia Flyers playing top line and top power play. Been doing pretty well, shooting the puck a lot as well, so it gives you a bit of a safe floor there. Riley Smith is playing very well on that second line in Pittsburgh and is getting top power play time right now, so it's not a bad ad at all. Pavel Zacha, top line, top power play with Pastrnak in Boston. Cannot go wrong there. He's been very good all year. Nazem Kadri's bouncing back a little bit. He's playing on the second line right now with Connor Zary, and Zary's been doing very, very well. Definitely helping Kadri bounce back a little bit. Don't mind adding him. Couturier is the top line center in Philadelphia. Gets top power play time. You can't go wrong with a very safe ad in Sean Couturier. Charlie Coyle is your second line center in Boston with JVR and Frederick. Not a bad ad there. He's had a pretty safe floor every single night the entire season. Sean Monahan, another guy with a very, very safe floor in the sense that he's getting a point just about every single night. So he's very, very consistent and is getting plenty of top power play time in Montreal. Joel Farabee's also been someone who's been pretty sneaky good all year round. I don't mind adding him. Then I have Alexi Lafreniere at number 13. He may rise up these rankings if he does do well before this video comes out. As of right now, he's doing very, very well in that line with Panarin and Trocheck. But if he does even better, I'd boost him up a few more spots on this list. But if he falls off, I drop him quite a few spots on this list. We know how streaky Lafreniere can be. Nick Schmaltz of the Arizona Coyotes, top line, top power play with Keller on both those things. Schmaltz is a very good player, and I like him a lot. Just note that he only plays on Saturday, not Friday, but that's not really going to matter anyway, because you're not going to be able to fit a player on Friday in all likelihood. Tyler Bertuzzi is starting to play a lot better right now on line with Nylander and Tavares. I don't mind the ad there. Trevor Moore of the Los Angeles Kings is now playing on the second line with Danault and Fiala, which is good deployment. He's been pretty solid all year. Ilya Mikheyev still playing on the top line with Elias Pettersson. Can't go wrong with that deployment. Owen Tippett, he's been very streaky all year, but still getting top power play time and does shoot the puck a decent amount. Connor Zary, like I said, is kind of rebounding Kadri right now. He's had a very, very good start to his season this year, and he's a rookie that I've always really liked, so I like to see him succeeding, and he's someone that you definitely can add for Saturday game. Then JJ Peterka, someone who's sneakily putting together a pretty good season, playing on the second line right now in Buffalo, and seems to be putting up a point just about every night. Don't mind that at all. And finally, Matthew Nyes of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He is currently playing on the top line, at least when I'm recording this, with Matthews and Marner. If he's still playing there, it's definitely not a bad idea to grab him because he could go off like he did just a few games ago. All right, so if you need someone that plays Friday and Sunday, or just Sunday because Friday's full, these are the teams you're going to want to look at. Anaheim, Carolina, Chicago, Columbus, Detroit, Edmonton, Minnesota, Nashville, St. Louis, and Winnipeg. The number 1 and 2 guys that I'm looking at are Robert Thomas and Pavel Buchnevich. They're starting to go off right now along with the rest of the Blues team. They're finally starting to score some goals, which is nice to see. These guys are both playing top line and top power play in St. Louis and are both incredibly talented. I like Buchnevich overall more than Robert Thomas, but due to Thomas being so hot right now, I'd take him over Buchnevich just for this weekend. But overall, if you're looking for a long-term ad, Buchnevich is definitely the guy. Ryan O'Reilly is number 3 on this list. He's been pretty good all year. Very, very streaky, but is playing top line, top power play with Forsberg, so he can pop off at any time. If he does pop off for you this weekend, you're set. Boone Jenner playing top power play and top line with Liney, which is a good deployment for him. And he's just someone who always has an insanely safe floor with his peripherals. And he's good at putting up points as well. Troy Terry, top line, top power play for Anaheim. Someone I definitely like. Brayden Schenn, top line and top power play with Kyrou for both those things. That's pretty good for him, and he's starting to pop off a little bit along with the rest of the Blues team. Alex Iafallo of the Winnipeg Jets is playing top line with Scheifele as well as top power play, and he's starting to pop off a little bit as well. Leo Carlson's another guy I like who's having a really, really good rookie season right now on the top line with Troy Terry getting top power play time oftentimes as well. The only risk with Leo Carlson is that he could get a healthy scratch because they want to do a little bit of load management, but we're going to have to see. Lucas Raymond of the Detroit Red Wings, top line and top power play in Detroit. Definitely not a bad deployment. If Detroit can figure out that power play again, Lucas Raymond's going to have a lot of value. Ryan Hartman is now centering the third line with Foligno and Maroon, which is obviously not the best deployment he's had all year, but still, he's someone that's put up points pretty frequently this year, so I don't mind the stream there. Ryan Strome, still second line with McTavish, as well as Vetrano, and that line has been very, very good this year. Strome kind of fell off a little bit, but seems to be getting back on track now, so I don't mind that stream. Jesperi Kotkaniemi has been very consistent all year, manning that second power play in Carolina, so I don't mind that. Cole Perfetti has been putting up points left and right, it seems like. He's performing very, very well right now on that second line, as well as top power play in Winnipeg, and I like him a lot. He's a very, very under-the-radar option right now. Marcus Foligno also on that third line with Hartman and Maroon, like I'm saying, and he has a little bit of a safer floor with the shots and hits that he provides. So even if he doesn't put up points, he's putting up peripherals for you, which is quite nice. Then I have Nino Niederreiter, who's performed pretty well this year, all things considered, but he is playing only on the third line right now with Lowry, as well as only the second power play. So you can stream him. He's not a terrible stream, but he's definitely not my favorite stream. Then I have Turbo Teravainen, 58% rostered, and he had a really amazing start to the year, but now he's been dropped down to the third line because he has quieted down quite a bit. So we definitely am not even close to as high on him as I was near the beginning of the year. But this guy definitely still can explode at any time, and definitely is a bit of a riskier stream. But if you are streaming him, cross your fingers and hope that he pops off and you can win the week just from him. Luke Evangelista of the Nashville Predators playing on the second line right now in Nashville, as well as the top power play. Dude's been putting up points like crazy. The peripherals aren't really there, but the points really are there. So he's definitely a super under the radar stream, and I definitely don't mind him at all. Kirill Marchenko of the Columbus Blue Jackets, another guy who's kind of underrated. He's getting plenty of top 6 time in Columbus. The ice time's there. He's shooting the puck a decent amount this year as well. and he's a guy that I do like a lot in deeper leagues. Philip Kurashev's playing top line and top power play with Bedard right now, and he seems to be producing quite a bit as of late, so I don't mind that streaming option as well. Dmitry Voronkov's playing on the second line with Marchenko in Columbus, so I definitely don't mind that, and so far he's performed pretty well in the few games he's played. And then finally, Cody Glass is my last option here. With the injury to Thomas Novak, Cody Glass is going to be taking his spot on the second line with Luke Evangelista, and Cody Glass has got a little bit more talent than a lot of people realize. He's definitely an under-the-radar option here for people in very deep leagues. If you need to stream a goalie for Sunday, the number one option I would go with is the Carolina goalie that ends up starting on Sunday. So Ranta or Kochetkov, whoever starts Sunday, is going to be my favorite streaming option. Then Peter Mrazek has been very, very good all year, has only let in 4 goals once this year. He's let in less than that every single other game. So if you're in a points league just looking for points, not necessarily a win, Peter Mrazek is definitely a solid option. John Gibson versus the Oilers is not a bad option either. He's doing very, very well right now, so I don't mind that streaming option. And then Joel Hofer potentially getting that start against the Blackhawks. There's no guarantee that he's going to start and not Bennington, so definitely wait till the goalie's confirmed before you go ahead and pick up Joel Hofer, but he does seem to be getting a little bit more games than he was earlier in the season. And then Stuart Skinner against the Ducks. Honestly, with Stuart Skinner's recent hot play, he could be higher on this list, but I'm being a little bit conservative here, but definitely I don't think that's a bad stream at all here. And then finally, Marc-Andre Fleury and the Minnesota goalies have struggled this year, which is why I have him last on this list, but he's still a viable streamer if you need to stream a goalie this weekend. Jumping into the categories league section of this video now, and if you want to make sure that you win your shots on goal this week, if it's a very, very close matchup, you can pick somebody up on this list. The number one guy that I would pick up is Brian Rust, who shoots on average 3.3 times this year. Brock Nelson also shoots 3.3 times. Cam Atkinson 3.2 per game. Owen Tippett 3.2, Boone Jenner 3.1, Troy Terry 3.0, Kadri 3.0, and then Fogle 2.9, and then Niederreiter and Ehlers both shoot 2.9 times per game as well. As far as blocks go, if you need to catch up on blocks, the number one guy to be grabbing is Scott Mayfield. So far this year, he's blocked 3.3 blocks per game. Then Alex Carrier 3.2, Caden Gooley 3.2, Mario Ferraro 3.0, Jake Wallman 2.7, TJ Bodie 2.7, and Nick Bonino, who's a center, not even a defenseman, which is incredibly valuable there because he also wins faceoff wins. So if you need both those things, Bonino is kind of an awesome option here, 2.6. If you need hits, number one guy this year has been Michael Pizzetta, 3.8 hits per game. So over 2 games is going to get you over 7 hits potentially, which is amazing. Sammy Blais 3.7 per game, Foligno 3.4, Garnet Hathaway 2.9, Dakota Joshua 2.9, Delore 2.8, Dylan 2.8, Will Cooley 2.8, and Connor Clifton 2.8 as well. If you need face-off wins, the number one guy I would look at is Tomas Hertl, who wins 12.2 face-offs per game. I understand he's on a terrible San Jose Sharks team, but the dude is destroying it in face-off wins right now. And then Vincent Trocheck with 11.5 face-off wins per game. Robert Thomas 11.2. Jordan Staal 10.9. O'Reilly also 10.9. Boone Jenner 10.8. Ryan Johansson 10.7. Sean Monahan 10.1. JG Pajot 9.8. And Nico Sturm, if you need a really low-owned option, 8.6. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you enjoyed the content today, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button. Hope you enjoyed this content, guys. I know I recorded a little bit in advance, but definitely should be pretty accurate for this weekend. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.